So the solution on these hummingbirds has been a mixture of 1 part sugar to 3 to 4 parts water, and boil it. What I'm going to try next for the ants, to mitigate the ants, is I'm going to suspend this from a fishing line as opposed to that wire hanger. Hello from your good old buddy and your long lost friend, Backpacker Brooks. Everywhere in this world there's problems, there's complications, there's things going on. People are building things, tearing things down. This little video simply deals with hanging a hummingbird feeder, dealing with hanging plants and animals like ants. With that, we just address some very typical household things here with some very typical tools. So see you out there. Good old Backpacker Brooks. This little segment, we're going to look at how the ants can navigate down into the hummingbird feeder and get trapped. See if we can make it a little harder. But I would like to entertain the thought of, why not trap the ants? I mean, if you have ants going around looking for some place to eat and it's by your house, why not let them die in the hummingbird feeder? But maybe you don't like emptying the ants out. So let's go over here. We got some household items, some things just found on the ground, some threaded rod. I picked up a welding rod earlier, some sort of wire. You could use a hanger, some cutting devices. Everybody ought to have a cordless drill of some sort, some drill bits, probably the most important. I kind of painted a couple things up, make it look a little better. Let's see what we can do with this thing. More to come. Good old Backpacker Brooks. One more important thing to note is, even though these wires are ugly, for the time being, they gave the homeowner a place to decide where this item went. Same with these plants and whatnot. So they did have a good value, and they do, as they are, can be positioned. A raccoon wants to hang and whatever. And as mentioned before, here they come now, some hummingbirds wanting in on my little project. Hummingbirds here. Hey, little guys. I'll be done in a minute. You guys can wait. They don't want to wait for me. So we're just going to mark this little piece of metal, a little bit thicker than a hanger. And we just drilled the holes, made sure they halfway lined up, and we'll cut this with some snips. Little trick with this, a lighter cutter, we twist the wire. Just hold the snips like this, and take your other hand and just twist the wire back and forth, and those will cut right through. And now that we scored it, I barely cut through that. Quarter of the way through that, and it just snapped in half. So, well, you don't need this. All right, let's go on and get this thing in. Okay, so I had some fishing line, which would be totally transparent, and a fishing leader. So it's a steel fishing leader. This is just any items around the house. Maybe it's a little piece of string or wire or picture hanger wire or whatever. But I decided to go with this just in case a raccoon or something 20, 30 pounds was hanging from the bird feeder. It's not the cheapest bird feeder, but it's one of the only one that doesn't leak. I mean, you're looking at a $14.99 compared to a $6.99. So we don't want to lose our $14.99. I kind of had an idea how long it'd be, and I spray painted the little hook. We got to make it easy for Granny to unhook and hook. So we'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can get this up here real quick. Alright, so for ease of purposes, this is how the hummingbird feeder will be suspended. Just reuse the wire hanger. The only thing different that I could have looked at a little before was I drilled 2 other holes up here. I want that just a little higher. Just so Granny can kind of reach up and easily unsnap that. We don't want it hanging where it's going to hit people in the head. It's good to plan that out. So let's see how it goes. It's looking good. So a final look at the hummingbird feeder. The ants are very perplexed. Now I went ahead and doubled the steel leader just to raise it up a bit, in case a bear or something's hanging from this thing. We don't want to break our $14.99 bird feeder. And sure, could the ants crawl down this? But as I went into this video, things changed shape for me. I honestly, they're going to have a lot harder time finding it here. You could even use the fishing line. That'd be super hard for them to crawl down. But why not trap the ants? If people don't, it's just an ant trap. If these are the ants scurrying around trying to find a way in your house and find food, why not clip them off right here? Why let them go look away into the house and other stuff to eat? That's that. So it's up and running. I went ahead and I used the threaded rod to just clean up these plants a little, and some standard household cordage, string, paracord, whatever you got. You could use chain or something, or cable, or a fishing leader like I got I have a fishing leader on the hummingbird feeder here. And it just looks a lot cleaner, a lot nicer, and it's gonna work for a while. So, over and out.